In Western Australia, rule changes to the learner's driving system was handed down on the 9th of October. These changes include having to do the full 50 hours required to get your permits licence and completing your hazard perception test before being able to do the practical assessment. In addition, 5 hours is required of supervised nighttime driving before taking the driving exam. These changes will make sure young drivers will have the experience and feel confident on being able to drive on the road.
Doing a hazard perception test, I think it's interesting when you are a driver that's been, on the road for a number of years. The people that fail or struggle to see hazards or deal with a range of situations at any one time that can make for a hazardous set of conditions tend to be people who are quite young and inexperienced.
Last year, an advertisement released by the Western Australian Government called Zero Hero was used to reduce dangerous driving behaviour on our roads. The campaign found 54% of drivers did not lose demerit points in the last 3 years, equating to approximately 800,000 people.
And some very good drivers, considerate drivers, and I've seen people who are inconsiderate at times, or people who make very, very bad decisions on the road. Often, from my point of view, being a cyclist, people who are inattentive, who just don't look, are the worst cases of bad driving.
Having enough driving experience on the road is vital for learner drivers as they are more susceptible to accidents.
In relation to obviously younger people, possibly doing a hazard test at that time may be of assistance, but there is no substitute for learning when you're driving as far as practical experience is concerned.
Statistics released by the Department of Transport last year found 61,766 of the 113,887 failed their driving test, whereas the 52,121 passed their practical exam.
I think it comes down to actually a question more about how do people actually learn. And for some things, exams can teach you or test where there's an absolute answer, like what do you do when you come to a stop sign. But sometimes spotting hazards or dealing with hazardous conditions, that it may not be one factor, it may be a range of things that contribute to a hazardous situation.
Long-time driver Paul Bilsich says behaviour on Western Australian roads is a disgrace and respect for other drivers is embarrassing.
With people, it's something like people must think there's some sort of a race to get somewhere because they're just not courteous at all, and it's a very simple procedure to execute. I also notice cars drifting over to other side of the road, and generally people aren't as well. From what I remember all the years driving, not that courteous.
Having these rule changes to learner drivers will make sure fewer road accidents occur among young people, and building good driving habits will make for good drivers. Yuri Bilsich, Notre Dame News.